Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. Listeners, if you've been on the hunt to find a skincare product that can actually deliver what they promise, OneSkin has what you've been searching for, thanks to their disruptive approach that targets skin aging at the source. Their products are powered by a groundbreaking peptide, OS1, which is the first ingredient scientifically proven to prevent the accumulation of aged senescent cells, the primary culprit behind skin aging. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin feels and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code OVER50 at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code OVER50. Now is the best time to invest in your skin. Age healthy with OneSkin. This holiday season, I have found something truly special for my loved ones, Storyworth. It's more than a gift. It is a heartfelt way to capture and cherish the unique stories that define us. Here is the magic of Storyworth. Every week, it sends a thought-provoking question of my choice to a dear friend or a family member. After a year, Storyworth compiles these narratives into a keepsake book, a tangible treasure filled with photos and memories. With Storyworth, I'm giving those I love most a thoughtful, personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Just go to storyworth.com/over50 and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/over50 to save $10 on your first purchase. Everybody, this is a Friendsgiving podcast. Welcome to Over 50 and Flourishing. We are on the heels of an amazing, unbelievable trip that the four of us took. And we thought, how cool would it be if we could just reunite, kind of rehash some of the, behind the scenes, funny stories, some great anecdotes and stuff. We all have amazing memories. But I think the cool thing about this podcast is just the opportunity to solidify things in friendship. And that was the beauty. Even more beautiful than what we saw in Belize was the camaraderie among the four of us. And I love the fact Holley and I are about the same age. You and Ralphie are about the same age. We could be your mothers, but yet, there was no maternal anything going on this trip. Well, except for me, maybe, catching your conch that you spit out and throwing it in the sea.
Scenes when you're like, I can spit out my own.
I felt so, she put her hand out to me. I'm like, I feel so rude spitting in your hand.
That was the only mom-like thing that emerged on that trip.
Tell me, Jen.
Yes, Jen. Well, first we need to talk about some of the nicknames that came about, too, from this trip. Miss Ginny Gin Gin.
Yeah, that's a good one. I got that nickname. I'm pretty sure that I will continue to keep that nickname because I thought it was awesome, especially when Court would be like, Ginny Gin Gin.
My little Jen.
My little Jen. I'm like, yes,
boy.
I'll be your little Jen. So yeah, that was a great nickname that will stick, and it's very fun.
You're a little Ginny in a bottle.
All right, so that's going to stick too. I'm Ginny in a bottle. And be careful to let that lid come off.
That lid came off.
That would be a real Houston housewife tagline. I'm a Ginny in a bottle. Be careful that lid doesn't come off.
Okay.
Well, there we go.
Okay, yeah.
We've now become a reality show.
She'll hold a blue bonnet.
That's so awesome. Yeah. That's so awesome.
But what I think is so funny is that Holley and Ralphie have like joint nicknames of gin and tonic.
Oh yeah.
And I truly, one of my favorite parts of the video, and there are many, but at the beginning, going back and watching the footage and seeing you guys hug and you saying, "Hi, I'm Holley, nice to meet you." I'm like, oh my God, they just met.
Yes. It's the weirdest when you end a weekend with someone and you say nice meeting you and you forget that you just met at the beginning.
I know.
Well, and even like, I don't want to skip ahead, but we had the pleasure of having a couples massage. Gin and tonic. And we were
Y'all were
chit-chatting.
official day two.
Yeah, we're official day two.
Yes.
And the people that gave us our massages, I said, well, how long do you think we've known each other? They're like years. I'm like, 48 hours.
Yep.
48 hours.
I know.
48 hours.
You two became thick as thieves overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight. And and for those of you who have not seen the video, please go reference the video before you watch this podcast, please, because there were so many incredible, amazing moments that happened in our group trip together.
Yeah.
But when you did what's in Holly's bag, I'm sorry, but I lost my cool in that moment. I'm sitting there and I'm just behind the camera and tears are running down my face. And Ralphie channels
And
every
that was
YouTuber.
night of the rum punch.
Yeah, that was a Ginny
So
night.
it was a Ginny Gin rum punch kind of night.
Yes.
Oh, that was.
Oh, Ralphie, you were
classic.
like spot on.
As soon as someone said, "What's in your bag?" it was just like,
Yeah,
Okay,
I'm a
what's in
YouTuber
your
now.
bag?
Action.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was waiting for my moment, y'all. I
You
really
had
was.
it multiple times.
You definitely had.
My mom and I were watching that video, and she just looked at me and she goes, Ralphie. I'm like, wait, it gets better.
Oh, it gets better.
I'm like, this is a full scene, Mom. Wait for it.
That's it. Because my whole family knows Ralphie, obviously, and they were all dying. They're like, "We're so glad you left that in there."
Yes.
Like, how could we not?
How could we not?
Absolutely.
I'm
No.
like, Ralphie stole the show, and I'm so glad.
Thank you for letting me have it for a little bit. That was probably one of my highlights, too. That was such a funny night. And we were just sitting around the pool.
Literally
Yes,
doing
doing
nothing.
nothing.
Doing I was drinking
we
a
were
Red Bull.
debating
Okay.
what
Yes.
we were going to do.
Yes, I
Because
was
she
going
was
in.
tired.
Yes.
And I was like, well, I'm not going in.
Oh, wait, this was the night that we ended up
Yes.
golf carting.
That was not documented.
No, that did not make the video, but you guys go ahead and share while I enjoy my rum punch.
Oh, that was awesome.
We really wanted to go explore the town up until this day. I feel like we didn't, it was like go
Yeah.
activity, which was amazing, but we were like, really want to go like see places and stuff. And so
I had
Dumb
been,
and
I had
Dumber.
been there. Hey,
I saw the
which
video.
one is-
I can vouch for
Which
that.
would are we? Dumb, Dumb, or Dumber?
Anyway,
Anyway, so I had been there.
No level.
And the whole thing was who can stay on the golf cart. Well, I had been to Belize before, and I was determined to make sure that y'all saw this one place called the truck stop. Unfortunately, it was a night of rain, and there was no one there, and there was no one anywhere. But
Anywhere.
it sure was fun to get on the golf cart, go explore, get to show you what that place is. So it's a bunch of food trucks, and there's a stage, and there's also a pool in the back. So it's definitely a fun place to go. But the weather was bad. And,
It was horrible.
okay, don't say bad. It was pouring, storming. We had to get towels to wipe our seats. That was a very kind way to say it was awful.
I'm sitting in my room and I'm thinking, what are the Three
Thunderstorm.
Stooges up to? Because this could not be good.
Oh, it was bad. We shouldn't have
as soon
went, but we
as
did. It was great.
The cart started rolling back. It just poured down on us.
Poured.
And here we're talking like this is bad, right? Like we shouldn't. And I'm still going. I'm still going.
Well, Jen did say a couple times, guys, I'm not going if it's raining. I'm really not doing this. That's dangerous. She hops right on.
She was
right on
on
the back.
that
On the
seat
back of it.
like no one's business.
Facing backward.
I'm like, I can't be left behind. I'm serious FOMO.
Absolutely
She
not.
does. She does.
Absolutely not.
I, on the other hand, I'm like, see y'all later.
You're the smart one in this.
Honestly.
And
And
then-
I'm glad we made it back, but when I tell you,
Okay,
these
but
roads,
the best. Thank you. Go there next.
good segue?
Yeah.
Because these roads, one, there's like a stoplight every mile and a half.
Oh, a speed bump.
Oh, and the speed bumps that say speed bump after the speed bump. So there's three of us on this car. One of us is hanging on for dear life in the back. And me and Courtney sharing the front seat of this car looked like two clowns in a clown car.
I know, I saw the video.
We couldn't be on top of each other. And I hit this speed bump going as fast as the golf cart could go.
We thought we lost Jen.
There goes Jen.
Really
I'm like, Jenny, she goes, I'm still here. I'm still here. I'm like, I don't know how, because this poor girl, I just saw everything move. I'm like, this is.
It was well,
Oh.
but my favorite was the road had a bunch of holes in it, and so
Oh,
I'm yelling
this
to
is the best.
Ralphie. I'm like, "Be careful, be careful!" He's like, "I'm going over a Swiss cheese road."
Nowhere to
And Holly's in the
move.
back. She
I
was like, "It really
dying
does look
laughing.
like
I'm
Swiss cheese."
It is Swiss cheese.
You guys, nowhere. You could not maneuver this street without hitting a pothole. And then she's telling me to keep up with the golf cart in front of us.
I was like, "Is this really how fast this thing can go?" He's like,
And I'm
"No, I'm being careful."
I'm not from here. They're conditioned. We are not.
Okay, hold on. You forgot to share that we were eating tacos while driving too.
Oh, the tacos is a whole
eating while
other
driving.
story that
Okay.
we make.
And then Courtney's like, do you want one? I looked at her. I'm like, not now. Not now. I was so stressed.
Like, "Care to have a bite?" He's like, "Absolutely not."
Yeah, when And you took my advice and got rid of bras as well. So that must have been a fun trip on the back of the golf cart.
Oh.
I said, I'm like, I need a sports bra for this trip, honey.
That's what she said. And I'm like, all right, yeah, all undergarments, adios. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that, there you go, everybody. There you go.
Yeah.
A light into our lives.
That was 2 hours.
Yeah, that was only 2 hours.
Yeah, if that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a very funny night. And then we got back and I was like, peace out.
Yeah, we just silently
And then
went
of course
separate
mom
ways.
text in the morning like, are y'all alive?
Yeah. Oh no, really? Are you alive? Because I think we had a
Proof
lot.
of life,
I'm like
please.
looking at the itinerary, thinking I can't do this by myself. So where are my 3 amigos?
We would never leave you hanging.
Yeah, of course.
No, we rallied. We looked
absolutely
good.
would.
I think we were even on time.
Totally
Absolutely.
Actually, I don't even know what we did the next day, but it sure was
I
fun
think
every
we had
day.
a chance to sleep in that morning. That we had probably.
no, wait, was the next day snorkeling?
Was that no?
I swear.
Was it maybe? But that was an
Yeah.
afternoon event.
Because we that the day with the rum punch, we did the spa in the morning,
Right.
and then we did snorkeling. No, we had to be up by like 8 a.m.
Oh, yeah.
It's all coming back to her now. It was a blur.
Because I had the blue shirt on.
Yeah.
See, you remember
Yeah.
according to the clothing.
I had the blue shirt on.
Yeah.
It makes him remember that stuff.
I don't
It
know.
was cute.
That's what.
It was cute.
Listen, you were cute the whole time.
Thank you.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Speaking of cute, there were some cute people. in
Yes.
Belize, let me tell you.
Yes. Well, we met a lot of locals on our excursions. And didn't you guys get blown off by one?
2, actually, but who's counting?
Ralphie.
He doesn't have a problem.
No, he
Let me
doesn't.
tell you.
Yeah, so what happened? Because first of all, it was supposed to be the guy. Okay, so the rum punch.
Oh, yes.
Let's first of all,
way,
cheers.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Honestly, well, there is a deer pirate out there, if you will.
Yes, a
who's
deer
living
pirate.
the seas in the Caribbean off the coast of Belize.
A real pirate.
Yeah. Can we call him by his real name?
Sure.
Well, Eddie, if you're watching, I would just like, if I had the government, I would absolutely say the full thing. Because not only did you tell us where to go, you enthusiastically said,
I'll be
I will
there."
take you there.
And we were so excited to go out with a local. Like to
local.
show us
And like
around.
a fun
cool
guy.
place.
Right,
Yeah,
he was
so
super
fun.
cool. This was on the catamaran.
He's the guy that pulled the thing out of the crunch.
Yes.
The whole thing.
So he's in the
You
video.
got ghosted.
Yeah, they got ghosted.
Until we ran into him in the back.
Oh,
yeah.
And I wasn't letting that,
That
go
was
either.
no coincidence.
That's when I was like, oh,
Let me tell you what I
Eddie.
think about you.
Oh,
We
wow.
were on the food tour. And then
Yes,
it was at
food
the
exchange.
At the very end.
The
The
last
last
place
stop.
that we went to, we were walking literally in an alleyway.
Yeah.
And who do we see just sitting in the alleyway?
No, he was bent over his golf cart. Remember? And he had a bad back. At the
That's
age
what
of
they
what,
all say.
30
30.
something, he's bent over with a bad back.
He
And
saw
by-
us coming and said,
He did. Ooh.
And then leaned over the table for longer than needed, by the way.
You can see him leaning on the table on the last
video.
stop of the food tour. Yes,
Yeah.
you can see him.
Did you see
So
me leaning on
everybody
the table
who has
just wanting
watched
to
the
die?
video. I'm like looking at the camera. I'm like, everybody who has
Everybody.
watched the video.
I want you to go zone in and take a look at that guy who
And that's
literally
Eddie.
stood them up. Because Eddie did that. But did you
Don't-
notice that at the end, he stood up just fine and he walked out like
And then,
nothing
yeah,
happened with
he
his back? I'm
invited
like,
us out
what's
after.
up with the back?
Yes, and then invite us to... No.
Yeah.
That's just not okay.
No, that is so not
That
appropriate.
violates many, many rules of.
Conduct.
Oh, hold on. That's not unbelievable. That's
Acceptable. Don't try to make it cute. It's unacceptable.
Thank you, Ralphie. Thank you, Ralphie. Poor code of conduct.
Thank you for helping me with my vocabulary.
Absolutely,
and
Jen.
dialect.
I got you.
On that note, I think it's time for us to take a quick break.
Yes.
And we'll come back and we'll tell more stories.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay. Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. Listeners, if you've been on the hunt to find a skincare product that can actually deliver what they promise, OneSkin has what you've been searching for, thanks to their disruptive approach that targets skin aging at the source. Their products are powered by a groundbreaking peptide, OS1, which is the first ingredient scientifically proven to prevent the accumulation of aged senescent cells, the primary culprit behind skin aging. Now, the real magic here, OS1 has actually been proven in the lab lab to actually reduce the biological age of skin by several years, meaning it not only prevents, but it slows down skin aging, leaving you with healthier, more hydrated, and glowing skin. Now, I personally love how OneSkin makes my skin feel. It's smoother and more hydrated. You can definitely see the difference. Plus, one bottle for the face and one for the eyes. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. OneSkin addresses skin health at the molecular level, targeting the root causes of aging so skin feels and appears younger. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get 15% off with the code OVER50 at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code OVER50. Now is the best time to invest in your skin. Age healthy with OneSkin. This holiday season, I have found something truly special for my loved ones, Storyworth. It's more than a gift. It is a heartfelt way to capture and cherish the unique stories that define us. Here is the magic of Storyworth. Every week, it sends a thought-provoking question of my choice to a dear friend or a family member. These questions dive deep into personal experiences, sparking captivating stories like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? Or, if you could see into the future, what would you want to find out? After a year, Storyworth compiles these narratives into a keepsake book, a tangible treasure filled with photos and memories. It's not just for us, it's a gift for generations to come. Now, beyond the keepsake, Storyworth fosters connections across any distance, allowing us to share in each other's joys and reflections. It's a powerful way to strengthen the bonds that make our relationships extraordinary. As I've started this Storyworth journey, the stories and insights about my family have been truly captivating. It's more than anecdotes. It's a tapestry woven with laughter, love, and resilience. This holiday, I'm thrilled to give the gift of Storyworth, a heartfelt gesture that goes beyond material things, celebrating the richness of our shared history. With Storyworth, I'm giving those I love most a thoughtful, personal gift from the heart and preserving their memories and stories for years to come. Just go to storyworth.com/over50 and save $10 on your first purchase. That's storyworth.com/over50 to save $10 on your first purchase.
And we're back.
And we are back. So if you're joining us on Over 50 and Flourishing, we've got 2 over 50s and 2 under 50s.
And still flourishing.
And still flourishing. Look at us, enjoying rum punch and reminiscing about our incredible time together. And so there are a bunch of questions that we want to answer for you guys because, many of you kind of lob some questions like, well, why Belize? Or how did you 4 get together, right?
Yeah.
And I know you heard some from people too.
Absolutely.
How did all of this come to be?
I just brought up just kind of like, well, why did she film that? But what I first want to start off with saying is, I know one of the comments was, did you own the resort? Well, let's take it backwards, that this trip was originally planned. We were leaving the week we lost Audrey.
Correct.
So obviously the trip was delayed, and because it was delayed, we ended up going in the off season, which a lot of people don't really understand that the off season can be amazing because it's usually half the price. And for us, that was nice. That was cheaper for us. And also that, we did own the resort. I'm not so sure we had more than 4 other people. What about y'all? When I went to get my coffee and they say, good morning, Holly, I'm like, hey, good morning.
This is good.
This is working for me.
Yeah.
But just talking about what it's like to travel in an off season or why that resort. And so there's so many questions, but I wanted to make sure that everybody knew that that's why we were there during October.
Right. Because my mom passed on July 18th. So we were going that week. I'm grateful we went during off season. That's the secret that most travelers know is never travel during peak time. It's all, in Europe, all of the Americans come during the summer months. Why? Because kids are out of school. That's the time to travel. All the Europeans travel Europe, September and October because it's quiet. It's more normal. Prices go down. The population goes down. So that's kind of what happened for us in Belize. Now, out of this group, only one had been, that's you, and the other 3 had not. And so we thought, okay, when you live in Texas, Mexico, Central America, Costa Rica, Honduras, Belize, all these places are such great destinations because, thank you, it's a direct flight. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. That's it. And in our case, we went to Ambergris Key, so it was a little puddle jumper over. And I loved that for Ralphie and for Courtney. I mean, yes, because it was their first time. There were so many firsts for them on the trip. which I thought was amazing, to find a resort that was reasonably priced, to be able to meet all budgets and price points was
And I loved
a big
how the
deal.
rooms were laid out because so many families, I remember when I was traveling with the girls, it was always, I would prefer to have 2 rooms, sometimes 3, just because everybody traveled better when they had their own room. But that's what it was so lovely about the resort is because the rooms were different configurations, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedrooms, with some pools, which was kind of cool because I know y'all had one. I wish I never got into that pool because it was raining.
Got to your room.
That's what I said. I never got
how
to
did
your
that
room.
happen?
And I never went to their room.
Isn't that
But I think
bizarre?
both of you, they flip flop.
Yeah, you too, because you had a massage together within 48 hours.
Yes, absolutely.
As you should be in each other's rooms.
It's like this.
Wow.
So, and that's what's really cool about that resort, and just comparing it to the other one that I'd been to, and being able to go, and the beach was nice, and you can get in the water, and
Yes.
everything that resort offered was
Yeah.
really
So
great.
cool.
It was
And
really great.
On top
Food was
of
good.
all of the amazingness and the beauty and all of that, I think we can all agree that the people there were just 10 out of 10, like the nicest people. I literally went online and left a Google review, and I was like, all of this was great, but the people were like the nicest people I think I've ever met in my life.
Yeah,
Like,
they were extraordinary. And so if you don't know, it's Las Terrazas in Ambergris Caye in Belize. And I had never heard of the resort, but I'm so glad that, we landed there. What a great, perfect space for the 4 of us and the timing. So we encourage you. I mean, if you're thinking about doing travel, think about off season. If you can. I mean, I know a lot of people try to do it with family, and then you're limited to when kids can either get out of work or they're out of school. But if you have the opportunity, since we're all adults and we're not having to worry about that, we could go whenever we could get off of work, and that was it. And it was the perfect month to go. The other thing too, Mexico and that whole area has kind of been plagued with seaweed lately. There wasn't any of it. That was a question that I got. Did you guys see a lot of seaweed? Y'all, I didn't see one bit.
Because I'd be out there for sunrises, and they would clean it up. It'd be the first thing that they would do. They'd rake it, and then they would come with this machine almost before the sun came up.
Yeah.
So it was clean so that's why y'all didn't see
So that's
it.
what getting up early does for you.
That's
Wow,
we
you get
wouldn't
to
know
see
that.
the seaweed pickup.
That's
Yeah.
no
I'm glad
idea.
we had you for that, Jim.
Yes. Late
I
night
was
and early
still-
mornings.
Yeah, I was still warming the bed. Absolutely.
Although I think I was up at 7 a.m. because they were like, oh, these are blackout curtains. That room was just flooded with light, I swear.
That's because you're supposed to get up and see the sunrise.
I guess.
I mean, come on,
So
girlfriend.
we were up. Just not up.
Just an awesome time to meditate and just take in the day and all the blessings that just the freedom of vacation gives you to allow your mind to just go, okay, where am I in my life, and where do I want to go in my life, and and listen to the water.
Oh,
and the stars. Okay, I was out at night too.
Yeah. How could
that
you not
lounge
be?
was my lounge.
Well, and the hammock and everything. It was.
I didn't make it to the hammock. Who got on the hammock?
Me.
I didn't
You
make
didn't?
it. But who got on the swings in the water?
You did.
My little Jen over there.
Yes, little Ginny Tin Jen.
I have a video of it. These are the videos that didn't make it to the video.
Yes. Oh, well,
Yeah.
there were so many. There were so many great nuggets and beautiful moments of friendship. And so this is our Friendsgiving episode, and it made perfect sense to have the 3 of you join me. New friends. Everybody here is a new friend. I mean, relatively speaking, if you think about it, right? This is all pretty young, pretty new. I know a lot of people who have been, they travel, lifelong friends from middle school, high school.
Yeah.
They have that old history, that old friend group that, they'll connect once a year and go. And what I really loved was the dynamic of this group. And there are so many interesting dynamics because Courtney's my employee. So there's that. Some people would say, well, how do you do a vacation with your employee? Well, she's my friend. We have a great synergy together. Holly, you're my new friend. Ralphie, I met you through Courtney, immediately fell in love with you and thought you were just the coolest, right?
Absolutely.
So, here's a new group that came together for a variety of different reasons. And I think the encouragement of a Friendsgiving episode is to remind people that you may not have family, right? This is my first Thanksgiving with no family. I mean, aside from my son, I have no parental figure here. So what do we do with holidays? What do we do with these occasions where we're so accustomed to tradition? We're so accustomed to going to mom's house or dad's house or recreating patterns and things. And now you're having to create new ones. And what we had was the blessing of creating something new. And whether we do this every year or every couple of years, I think it really has us kind of rethinking and reframing the model and realizing that friendships and the value of that can be equally as important as family. And it doesn't take blood to bind people. It's so much more than that.
Yeah. Or even time. No, I was going to say, or even time. You said blood, but I agree with you that like the time period, it doesn't matter. How long people are in your life, it's just kind of the impact and the connection that they make with you.
Correct. And I know you're going to be with Ralphie on Thanksgiving. Yeah. So kind of explain that.
Yeah, this is my first Thanksgiving without my family. My family, I think I've said this before on the podcast, that I'm from New York. And so my whole family is traveling to New York to be with my my parents. And I will not be, just because we just got back from traveling. I feel like I've been doing a lot of traveling this year. So I'm going to sit this one out, but I'm obsessed with Ralphie's family, and his family is my family. And so going over to the Lopez house for
I love it.
Thanksgiving this year. Yeah, it's going to be so fun.
Yeah.
Something about friends and family, those two words, they begin with F, right? And people often don't associate them with the same thing. But I think coming from the queer community, a lot of times individuals in that community, they have a chosen family. And something that people don't often experience, and granted, that's a good thing too, but when you get the chance to choose your family, that sometimes puts a stronger bond on those individuals in that type of relationship. Like, I don't know if you grew up watching movies where you're just like, where are these random people on these holidays? Like in rom-coms when all the friends are together for holidays. And I'm like, how does that happen? Because I grew up in such a close-knit family where it was always family, and then neighborhood kids, but I never understood how all these random friends would get involved. And as I've gotten older and started choosing family as well as having family, people like Courtney join, and other friends that I have here in Houston, and such like that from college too. Friends have come and joined my family. So now as I've gotten older and experienced that and have the side of having such a great supportive family and also choosing a family, it's really just a beautiful thing. And when you're there for someone like you are for Dominique, since her mom has passed, like that is just something you can never put into words, I don't think.
No.
That connection you have with someone who you can just literally say, this is family now, this is who I'm going to be spending a holiday that traditionally is spent with those who you share blood with or who you grew up with. And so it's just a really different dynamic, and it's really exciting to continue growing and having the opportunity to have met Dominique and yourself. And Courtney and I's relationship is pretty fresh.
Yeah.
We've known each other for about 2 years.
It's young.
2 years, but really just started hanging out for about a year, which is crazy because
it does not
right?
seem like that at all.
It's about like us.
What's crazy is
Seriously.
it's literally about like us.
Yeah, that is crazy.
Because, I've been... I don't know, I go through the math, like a year and 8 months, but I didn't meet you immediately because I had to be vetted.
By Audrey.
By Audrey, the green pants woman.
Yes.
But yeah, about the same amount of time, guys. And I think it goes back, Ralphie, when you were just talking about, it's a choice. It's a choice who you choose as friends. I mean, like you said, we don't choose our family, but we choose our friends. And it's also, for me, I've been thinking about just sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, I probably need to be thinking about Thanksgiving. And are there some people in my life that are going to be completely alone?
Yeah.
And I'm not completely alone because I still have family plus my girls. But there are people that are literally alone. And until you're alone or go through a divorce or something like that, you don't really think about that.
Yes.
You're
right.
And then I sit at this table and I'm just kind of convicted of, oh gosh, I need to really be thinking outside myself, even though, I mean, here I'm sitting with my new family, but there's always so many people during these holidays and there's so many pastors that preach about it. And, and I just think, I just take it for granted, but
yeah. I think too, there's a really good opportunity if you find yourself in that dynamic where you don't know where to go or you're, new in an environment, right? And it's kind of lonely and isolating. You mentioned, pastors who talk about it. it's a wonderful opportunity to kind of step outside your own realm and do acts of service on Thanksgiving, right?
True.
You know, there is no greater way to feel a sense of purpose and value than getting out of your own head and your own space and doing something for somebody else. And what a great opportunity, again, to meet a new community, to possibly make new forever friends, to be able to get outside of yourself. And, you know, there's a fine line that we walk. It takes time. Sometimes to form great relationships. Sometimes it happens in a very short while. But until you put yourself out there, right? Until you let yourself be vulnerable, until you start opening up to let people into your life and sharing, I don't think any of us would have the depth of relationship if we all hadn't been brutally vulnerable, honest, and transparent with one another.
Amen.
Because I think about how quickly, you know, we've all gotten to know each other and what we have shared. And
there wasn't a topic off the table, which
Correct.
I really appreciated because, you know, I feel like just even asking y'all questions at your age and hearing your feedback about what I'm feeling about this part of my life and you too. But the vulnerability is so key. Everybody keeps saying, I want a friend like that. Well, just
unzip.
Yeah. I mean,
unzip.
Sometimes people like get my unzippedness and they're like, whoa.
We love it.
But it's true. It's just, you have to go through crises in your life to become vulnerable or be willing to.
Yep.
Because
the sweetness is on the other side.
Agreed.
You know, I read, you and I both read Jesus Calling in the morning, and there's so much written about giving thanks in the adversity, being grateful for the hard times. And it seems like such a contradiction, right? Why should I be grateful for the hardship? Why should I be grateful for the pain and the suffering and the difficulty that I'm going through? Well, it's because it's a season. God doesn't keep us anywhere for too long, but there's so much growth that takes place during that season, and there's always perspective when we get out from under it, and there's time and space and distance, and then we say, now I understand. Now I get it. Now I have a better appreciation. Now I'm making better choices. So I think too, you know, sometimes we go through hard times, and that's okay.
Sometimes we go through hard times all the time. I feel like a lot of life is more valley than mountaintop.
Sure.
But it's what we do in the valleys.
Yep.
And I'm not saying because I have a ton of mountaintops, but I've had a ton of valleys. Yeah. Which has created, you know, growth. And you said another thing that I love that I don't know if I haven't lectured y'all on this yet, but I lecture my own kids on journaling.
Yes.
I have loved to go back through my own Jesus calling.
Dom has lectured me on it.
I mean, it's like, and I will literally open it from last year at October 20th.
Yep.
And it says the emotion I was feeling that day. And it was like, oh, it's a valley. Yep. But here you are, less valley, and you're seeing it, and you're like, oh, okay. I just had to say that because I think it's so important for us to reflect on the growth.
Yeah.
You know,
and I think it's very true. Everyone said about, you know, all of us becoming friends so quickly and because we were vulnerable. I think a big thing that I even took out of the trip was that literally night one that we were there, then we all had the dinner, like nobody really knew Ralphie, and Ralphie just like told his whole life story. Yes. And it was like accepted so wonderfully and like listened to and taken in, and I just like was obsessed with that moment, and like proud of you for like sharing it, and proud of everyone for like listening and just embracing him, and it was like so cool to me.
That was an incredible moment. It was not that I don't get it often, but to just be able to talk to people that you don't know. Yeah. And to just kind of share and get good feedback, right? And not feedback like I needed advice, but feedback of like just hearing and talking it out. And you had questions and we talked about some topics. And what was incredible was that you two are from completely different walks of life. You know, I'm Hispanic, I'm gay, you're white, you're a different age, you come from a different socioeconomic background than I do currently. So even all of that taken out, it was just individuals talking. And I love sharing my story because how far I've come. Yeah. And as of November 28th, I'll be 3 years sober. And that has a huge part of...
Yay.
You're right. Why didn't we?
I know.
I like take it for granted now because I'm like, oh yeah,
Right.
yeah, I know that.
And by the way, he's
Yes.
drinking a mocktail.
Yes,
I
mocktail.
recommend you still be part of the club and be a cool kid.
Yes.
But I took all the cool juice out of it, which is totally fine. And it'll be 3 years. And in that conversation, it's not just about like my experience within the queer community, it's my experience in the sober community and how those two intertwine. And I shared that topic. And going on trips like this, a lot of it is a first for me. So even outside of this trip, when I first went on a trip solo, it was a huge deal because I had to be accountable for myself. The first time I was around like a party scene, I had to be accountable for myself. And I have great support systems, but I can't always count on someone to be there and be like, oh, if you're not drinking, I have to be that for myself.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put myself in these situations. So being at a dinner table on a beach, having an incredible meal with people I didn't know, it was just such an amazing time. And then we went back to the room and we were just chilling. We were just sitting there and she just randomly goes, what a great conversation. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean? And she goes, at dinner, it was just so great. And I don't think we've even talked like that. Not that topics haven't come up, but like just sit down and kind of have one of those like...
It was a deep
I've gotten
dive.
like bits of the story here and there, but not just like start to finish.
Yeah. Which I think it helped having two newcomers into the situation and just, you know, shooting the...
SH.
Yeah. I'm like, wait.
We can't bleep you on here.
Yeah, I can't be bleeped out on this one.
I'm like, wait a second, Ralphie needs to be bleeped once on my podcast or else it won't be right.
I'll stop at that. But yeah, it was an incredible time. And it's one of, if not the top of my favorite spots during that trip. But there's a couple others that definitely hit the totem pole on that. But
I love that. Yeah, we really thoroughly enjoyed getting to know you and just the deep dive that night that took place. But again, that kind of circles us back, right, to when you meet people, are you willing to go there?
Yeah.
Are you willing to ask and get to know somebody? And is that other person willing to open up and share their truth? Their life, their vulnerability. That's the only way. That is the only way to get in. And that was the beauty of this group, was that everybody was willing to ask and everybody was willing to share. And so it just led to this almost like spontaneous combustion of joy, pure joy. I mean, it was awesome. And you talked about that being one of your highlights. And I know kind of at the end of this podcast, we'll do highs and lows, which I don't know if we can find any lows, but we'll rack our brains on all of that.
We put high and low.
Okay. Oh, wait, I know which one you're going to be talking about. But we're going to take a quick break to thank our sponsors, and we'll be back right after this on Over 50 and Flourishing on this Friendsgiving edition. Hey, Over 50 and Flourishing listeners. Today's video is sponsored by Temu, the #1 free app on the App Store right now. Temu is not just your regular online marketplace. It is changing the game with some incredible offers and perks that I can't wait to share with you. First off, Temu is currently running a site-wide sale where you can save up to 90% off on a wide range of products. And that's not all. They offer free shipping and free returns for up to 90 days. Plus, if your delivery is just a little bit late, you get a $5 credit. Now, how cool is that? Another fantastic feature is Temu's price protection policy. So if you purchase something and the price drops within 30 days, you can request a partial refund. It's like they've got your back even after you made a purchase. So I've had the chance to really try out some items from Temu, and I must say I am impressed. Price point for sure. Who doesn't need a car vacuum cleaner that plugs into the cigarette lighter? Or a ginormous tumbler? You've seen these and they can be really, really expensive. Or how about a full pack of makeup brushes for your entire face? Yes, all of this stuff under $10. The quality, the versatility, the suitability for different occasions are top notch. And of course, the best part, like I said, the prices are unbelievable. If you want to unlock some exclusive perks and have another smoother shopping experience, download the app to get a $100 coupons bundle for free and find my picks, or search my code OVER50 on the Temu app to claim the offer.
Okay,
and we're back.
So I do want to say something about what you just said, and I don't think I realized it until just now listening to you, which was your sharing that night set the tone for my vacation, because because you were so incredibly, I'm like, I think I could cry. You were so incredibly vulnerable. It made me realize that I can be exactly who I am, and I don't care if you don't like it. I can be a lot, I can be a little, but that just really set the tone for me, and I don't think I knew it. And it's not only set the tone for that trip, but it's set the tone for coming back into my life post-trip. Like,
That means so much.
You're like, seriously. I mean, like, who would have thought that?
Oh, I love that. If you're listening, there's a big hug going on right now. I love that.
That's
Yes, but isn't it amazing how one person doing that creates opportunity for another, and we don't even realize our impact in being honest and truthful and vulnerable. We don't even realize the seed that plants in somebody else to feel safe and to feel like they can be authentic. And that's what was going on this trip. Everybody,
the whole time.
the whole time.
I mean, it was crazy.
Yes.
But crazy fun.
But
it's not even like we thought about it.
No,
y'all.
it just effortlessly happened, right?
I think that's what goes back to what Dominique was saying. In that time of communication when we were sharing and the first night, I didn't feel like it was a let's sit down and like divulge everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Or like
I
an
think
interview.
Someone asked a question and it kind of just
Happened.
went from
We were
there.
eating tacos.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, so good by the way.
And all of a sudden,
So
I mean,
good.
I mean, that and your story just unraveled because of the safe space that was created. How about we say the safe space that was created for us? Like it was there. It was created for us. I fully believe there are people that we've lost in our lives that are always with us, and they're creating those spaces for us to enjoy life and to continue on. And
I absolutely believe that. 'Cause
and
again,
have people fill the holes.
yeah, it was night one. That's what's like. So it wasn't. This didn't happen day 5, and we're all so close now. Now we can like share and tell people
And
things.
we've been there, what, 3 hours?
Literally, not
Yes,
even,
that
and
was
not
it.
even
Dinner
together.
was-
yeah.
We
Yeah.
went to
Yes.
our rooms and
Yeah.
got ready and
And
went
we
to dinner,
were.
and that was like the first real sit down like
Yeah.
conversation that we had, which
Yeah.
is just
So
crazy.
cool. You know, I think a lot of people too may wonder about, okay, well, how is it that some midlifers, are y'all millennials? What are y'all?
Yes, I'm.
Where
are you the
are you
youngest
tail end?
Okay,
millennial?
tail end.
Yeah.
All right, that's
But we
what I
won't
thought.
say Gen Z for the sake.
Okay.
No.
No, you have to be an M because
Yes.
we're midlifers and y'all are millennials.
Yes.
It won't work otherwise.
It won't.
Absolutely.
It won't rhyme and alliterate. But how these four could come together and have commonality. So I'm curious as to what you guys think about that.
To be honest, I feel like I didn't think about that like at all. And when it's weird almost when we mention it, right? Because you are the same age as my mom.
I know. Jules and I. Yes. She
You
was
are
very,
my mom.
I know. She was, in fact, she was very happy that I caught the conch coming out of her mouth.
Dominique, like she'll always catch my food, honey.
I know, I will.
Short blonde hair and all.
But yeah, no, honestly, it's like I don't even think about it. And I feel like, I don't know, you and I have kind of always kind of had this like relationship. Where we're just so close and we can share everything. And I feel like this trip only just took it up a notch.
Yeah.
And there was never a moment where I'm like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't, because there's some things that maybe were said on the trip that I wouldn't say to my mom, right? Like, or I wouldn't act like that way around my mom, or, you know, things like that. And there was never a point where I thought about age, or honestly, even like, oh, this is like technically my boss, you know? It was just so normal and
Y'all
fun.
don't act
and
like that. I mean, seriously, the way that y'all talk and even just the way that you just share truly what's going on in your lives. And that's what I believe is making your platform together so engaging, because your relationship comes out in what y'all shoot.
Yeah, I agree with that. And my mindset has always been, because I've been an employee most of my life. This is my first time to be an entrepreneur and to employ somebody. Yay, which is such a blessing in and of itself. And to have her as, you know, my first is just a gift.
Brilliant.
Agreed. Thank you. But I have worked for a variety of different people, and I have seen people who have led by tyranny, and I have seen people who have led by coaching and inspiration. And I know the environments where I thrived. So I want to provide the environment for her to be able to thrive and for me to be able to inspire, but also not think that I know everything, because I don't. You know, this is a business that is dominated by young people. It changes at the drop of a hat. She has so much to offer me and I have so much to learn. So I see it as this amazing reciprocal relationship where I impart and she imparts, and we both give and we both receive.
Yeah, I totally agree. I gave you a card that you have not opened yet, but it's a thank you card for this trip and just everything. But in it, I wrote, like, thank you for being the best, like, boss, employer, friend, mentor, family member. Like, it's just everything, right? Like, truly, I couldn't agree more with, like, we just have the best relationship, and I have the best job. I'm going to throw it out there. No one can fight me on that one.
Oh, I'm so glad you feel that way, because I won't let you go no matter what.
We're stuck with each other.
You're stuck with me.
Absolutely.
Yes.
But did you notice anything with, like, the age differences?
Yeah.
No, I think if anything, we talked about it one night, was just the fact that there is an age difference, and we forgot. Mm-hmm. It's just when you're having such good conversation, that just, it doesn't matter. Yeah. It comes up in topics and like important key parts where you do have to say like, I'm this age, or like, because of my age, I've gone through this. Those are important things, but that doesn't set us apart in being able to share from one another.
Right.
Yeah.
I think everybody goes through what they go through, and that may seem like a little to someone, but it may seem like a lot to someone else. You won't know that until you listen to someone. And I think where you're at in your life and being able to share, and what Dominique shared, and how Courtney and I's relationship already has developed prior to this and after this, it has no age, it has no limit. It's just, it is what it is. We're 4 individuals going through life, and it's all very different for all of us. And I love that we were able to find commonalities, but our differences are what led the conversations that have brought us to here. And like you said, it really was just, we knocked into each other by the pool, and it just continued and continued. And we ain't got coffee or gin. Either way, there was conversation.
Sometimes both.
Yeah.
Sometimes gin in the coffee.
It was never both. I didn't day morning drink.
Are you sure those lines didn't blur at some point midday?
I'm absolutely positive. It was never.
It was a gin cocktail.
See?
Wait, that's just because it was on the menu. And I thought it was.
I need receipts. I don't know.
At the time, I think was 8 a.m. when the picture was on.
Okay, fine.
Okay, fine. You're on vacation, honey. Own it. Own it.
I guess I'm disappointed that I didn't drink it.
Right?
You're like, I wish I could say I did.
Right now, you have to deny it. Damn.
Well, it was like a gin. I don't even remember what the drink was, but we have to thank goodness.
Think good?
Enjoy your gin.
Go, Jen. Go, Jen. Go, Jen, with your best guess.
What everybody needs to know in life is God put me on this earth so people could have entertainment and, always have somebody to just love so well.
Go, Jenny.
Oh, Jenny.
Anyway, so I don't know why. I was trying to say that I'm thankful for pictures because we can look back on them and laugh, and everybody didn't even see a fourth of it, and just the sheer laughter. Where
my stomach
tummy
hurt. I had an ab workout the whole time.
Just tears.
Yes.
Just,
I mean,
thanks to him.
Wait, can we talk about, because I think it was funny in the video, I was dying, but Ralphie and I coming down the stairs.
The ruins. Okay, did you rehearse that at all? Because that was so good.
Like,
When I tell you,
oh my gosh,
off the cuff,
Do you need oxygen?
it's just the things that come out of both of our mouths, because she gives me one-liners where I'm dying. It just is silliness.
y'all
honestly.
you just feed off of one another.
We
Especially when
can't
you get
stop
going.
once we're together.
We are those silent laughers too, so we just look like we're fighting for life.
True,
and
we're
we'll
just
hit
shaking.
each other and we'll grab each other. And what we're laughing at that point, I don't even know.
There was definitely a point on the trip. It was the golf cart night when we were heading to the golf cart.
Well, we're kind of fighting. It was kind of funny.
Well, no, we were walking towards the golf cart and you went to go reach for someone's arm to laugh. Remember you fell on the ground?
Oh, yes!
He went to go laugh with me and I just wasn't there apparently. He's like, guys, I'm on the ground. You know, they're like, oh, hey.
Oh, we're sorry.
I'm like, hit her
Get off the ground.
I need to. Poor Holly, her arm is not bruised, I swear. I just need to grab you or something. I was laughing so hard. It was after my what's in my bag.
Yes.
And I thought Courtney was a lot closer. And when I laughed, my eyes closed. And I leaned way too hard into that grab because I had full confidence her whole body was going to catch me.
Apparently.
She went there.
And I rolled. And then they were still laughing like freaking friends. I was like, you guys. She turned around. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, I fell on the ground.
Yeah, like, why are you on the ground?
Get up and drive us.
Come on, get up and drive through the Swiss cheese. Come,
Come on,
Ralphie.
let's go.
Yeah, that's when you probably heard me getting snippy because she's like, Ralphie, it's there. I'm like, Courtney, I am driving in a country. I don't even know what's right from wrong. Everybody's beeping at me.
Are we on the right side of the road?
That night we were really like an old married couple because we had a little tension on the golf cart, and then when we got back to her, he goes, "Okay, that was a high pressure situation." We're okay. He's like, "I just need a minute to cool down because I was stressed."
I was so tense when I got on that golf cart.
I'm sorry, I missed that part of the night.
She dipped. She's like, I'm fine, I'll be fine. I'll drop off the keys.
So we
It's
said, like,
fine.
we'll walk you back to your room. I'm fine. So we went back upstairs
I don't
and
need anybody.
debriefed our.
Took my jean shorts off. I sat on the couch. I'm like, whew, that was a tough one.
That was our first and only fight.
If that. She just kept pointing to the building. She's like, it's right there. I'm like, I don't know what's up from down right now. It is dark.
I was just eating my tacos.
It is dark. There is holes where there should not be holes.
And speed bumps every
And
10
people are
seconds.
flying past.
Yeah,
I got
passing.
passed by golf carts.
Probably 20 times.
That's how slow. And she goes, why aren't you doing that? I'm like, because I'm not from here.
You probably got
This is
passed
not-
by
And I was just
16-year-olds.
sitting on the back listening.
How I just along for the ride.
Courtney, of all people, know how I drive in Houston. I'm
Yeah.
surprised she wanted me to get loose in Belize.
I would have loved it.
Oh. Round 2, baby. Let's
go.
Round 2.
Let's go.
Oh, so okay, highs and lows. I mean, you said you could come up with a low. I really, really had to rack my brain on it. I think I came up with mine, but you go with yours.
My low?
Your high and low.
My high. It was my second trip of the year to experience something that taught me a lot about myself, which I can't say I've had a lot of trips in my life that I've come back like searching for more in myself. And so for me, the high was just experiencing everybody's differences, all while learning about just myself, even with everybody. So that was totally my high, just the growth in the trip and the beauty and the everything we did and the laughter. I mean, come on. I mean, that laughter.
Epic.
So what's my low?
Mosquitoes.
Tore you up.
Well,
Not
Like
that.
a
no, they
bug.
tore her
I
up
tore
first.
Courtney.
Yeah.
It's a thing there, but no, I got a low. Hold on, let me get it. It's in my bag.
Oh, the
She
room
brought-
key?
She
Wait.
brought props.
What?
Oh.
What's in the bag?
This shirt.
Oh, you hated that shirt. You're like, D, can you not show me in that shirt? I'm like, you will not be seen in the tarantula
Nothing
scene.
at all for the person that designed it because it's an amazing shirt. But who thought
Your
that
3-hour
putting
tee?
those huge words across your breast would be a good idea?
+1.
So
Should
this
say
would be the
+2.
low.
Oh my gosh. If you go back and watch the video back, Holly has that shirt on when we see the tarantula, and then
Yeah.
you'll notice the next scene. Took
It's
it off.
gone. It was so gone.
But I just wanted you to notice that, of course, I brought it in my bag for you.
Thank you for props. Props to you.
That's
that was a
if
good
that's
one.
my only low. Look at us
Are
go.
you turning this
Absolutely.
in? Is this going to become like dish rag for me? What are we doing with this?
I don't know what it was.
It's a cute little
Stay
bedtime
tuned.
shirt.
It's like a good nighty.
Okay, give me back my shirt.
Okay. Gosh.
I'm not giving it to you.
She's like, so this
I mean,
is on the
he didn't
table.
even wear his.
Yeah.
He knew
I
better.
had my outfits
knew
planned.
better.
I'm sorry.
Had my outfits planned. I'm sorry, you were not gonna
You're not
like
going to force me to wear
change
that.
my
Life goes
My
on.
layout.
And also, you regret it now, so have a day. I have no scenes you need to cut, by the way. You're good.
It's true.
There's always scenes to cut with me involved. Okay, enough about me. Hi.
Ooh, a low would be that my mom wasn't there.
Yeah.
My parents are my rock. And I think my mom would have had such an amazing time.
Yeah.
I know you two have not met. Well,
I've
Dominique,
met your
you
mom. I met her
you
at
have.
Courtney's. Yeah, both your parents.
Yeah.
Holly, you have not.
Yeah.
And my mom is just
She's a pistol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You'll
things
know
to
the
do
apple
list.
did not
We're
fall
doing a
far.
cooking class at Alba's.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
We have to. She's just honestly. Every time I meat someone, I'm like, you really should meet my parents. My mom is so
Is she going
funny.
to teach me how to make tamales?
No, that's a different culture, babe. So close.
I'm confused. Never mind.
We're Puerto Rican, so we don't make tamales.
Oh, well, you never told me you're Puerto Rican.
Yes, I
That
did.
never came up in the conversation.
Actually, when I told you my last name, when you asked me 2 days later what my last name was.
Shots fired.
Jen.
So, Jen?
It was the gin. Blame it on the gin.
Yeah, sip, girl.
Okay.
There you go. So, y'all, my low. Whatever we're cooking, you're going to enjoy, trust me.
Oh, wait, you did actually. Never mind. I digress. Keep going.
Full back. My high, although, I mean, the trip itself was such a high. I think my high was, I'm going to cry again. My high was, like I shared, I am going to be 3 years sober on November 28th. And part of our food tour, which was our last night in Belize, there was a stop at Saul Cigar and Coffee. And they're known for their creamed rums. So like Bailey's and stuff, but from the island. The cigar part was so cool. My dad's such a cigar head. So being able to go in there and look at the humidor and all that stuff. But when they started passing around the different rums, I was like, I'm just going to step outside. It's a little stifling in here. So when I stepped outside, there's a restaurant called Carambas or Carambas?
It was Karambas.
Carambas, right? With an M, which is what you kept pointing out because they put
the
fresh
food out there.
seafood out. And I was like, oh, I got to go look at the fish.
Yes. Oh, yeah, that was so cool.
That was the day we got back from snorkeling. So I'm trying to make conversation with the gentleman. And I thought I knew all my fish because I snorkeled for the day. Wrong.
There's the rainbow one. There's the grouper.
Everything was wrong. He's
Sorry,
like,
where's the blue and yellow one?
That's what I would be like, the purple, the blue, the stripy one.
I go, is that the hogfish? He goes, no, that's a hog. I mean, are you sure? Because that looks like it should be a hogfish. I'm just saying. Just saying. But no, he asked me if I was on the food tour. And I said yes, and it comes full circle why he asked me these questions now. Backstory was he worked at that cigar place for decades prior to working at the seafood place. So he knew the tours and what they do on the tours. Yeah. So when I said, no, I don't really care for what they're doing right now, so I just wanted to step out, get some air. He's like, oh, you don't drink? And I was like, no, I don't. He goes, do you have a problem? And anyone in normal life, I don't think, would ask questions like that unless you have been down the sober route before. And it didn't click, so I was just answering this very nice man. And when he started speaking about sobriety and how much better life can be for you and how much clarity he's received and just the opportunities and the things you decide to do because of that life, I just looked at him like, are you sober? And he goes, yes, I'm 7 years sober.
Wow, that was such a epiphany.
Yeah.
When I tell you, that hit me because it was on October 28th, 1 month before I turned 3 years, which is huge in itself. But to hear from someone, and he shared, like on the island, it's a way of life. You go to work, you get out, you go have beers, you go home, you have beers because home is right by work.
Absolutely.
Home is work sometimes. And he said, I just lost control. He's like, did you? I'm like, I did. That's exactly what led me to stop. And then he asked me when I was leaving the island. And I said, oh, I'm leaving tomorrow morning. He goes, well, do you go to meetings? I was like, I do go back home. And he's like, if you weren't leaving early, there's plenty here that you'll have a place to be safe.
And he offered you a job.
Yeah. And then there's that.
And then there's that. He'd be a real good fish slinger, let me tell you. Sober and all.
Because you came back in, you're like, I got a job.
Yeah, I'm hooked.
But
yeah, that was no accident, by the way.
No.
That was no accident.
That was incredible to have just stepped outside for air. And I went to go look at the fish.
I know, random, right? And look at that.
And Courtney came out and she's like, Ralphie, we're going to head out. And he's like, go enjoy the rest of your trip. And I asked him, I'm like, do you mind if I give you a hug? He goes, absolutely not. And this older gentleman, probably a little older than my dad, just gave me such a big hug. And it was an incredible exchange of just understood energy.
Yes.
That's all I could say. And when I walked away, Holly goes, are you okay? I'm like, not you asking me. And then I just bawled.
Right.
And Courtney was like, these are happy tears because it just
connection.
I mean, in a place you've never been, literally stepping out of a tour that's offering you drinks, and here's this man who's just, he saw the right things and right questions to ask, and it was incredible. But yeah, that was definitely a high that, I mean, you just couldn't pay for that kind of experience, you know?
No, that was priceless.
Not coincidental.
Yeah, and a low? Did we say a low?
My low was not having my mom.
Oh, your mom. Yeah, we did.
Yeah. Which still, if she was there, my gosh, that may have gone a lot of different ways, but it still would have been
It still would have been amazing.
Yeah.
Well,
oh my gosh.
We'll see if we can get her on a future trip.
Oh yeah, we're trying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, my high, and I will explain because I think, to say the trip overall sounds kind of just broad and generic, but I sincerely don't think I've ever had a trip where I wouldn't have changed a thing, wouldn't have changed the people I was with, and was like, I could do this longer. I feel like at the end of every trip, right, you're like, all right, I'm ready to get home. I'm ready to get back in my bed. I'm like, little Ralphie and I were like, bye room. Bye. we were so sad to leave.
We never slept in.
Yeah. And we're like, wait, we're not going to like wake up together and like I'll go get breakfast and I'll be together. You know what I mean? It was just, and I didn't
my family
have.
shows up to the coffee shop, I'm like, hello.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And so, and again, I've been on other like incredible experiences and incredible trips and whatnot, but this was truly the first that I was like, I could do that all over again, and I would not change a single thing, not an activity, the thing I would change is to stay longer, which who says that
I think
about
we
a
all
trip?
agreed that like one more day would have just been the icing on the cake. Just a little bit more downtime.
Yeah, a little bit more island time.
A little bit more beach, pool.
Yeah, we had an
chill.
action-packed itinerary that kept us on the go.
Yeah,
Really?
but again, to even say like, oh yeah, we all wanted to stay longer. You know what I mean? Especially when you're not with like family or people you've known for a really long time. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, let's get this show on the road. Yeah, and then even like the plane rides back, right? We were all still having so much fun and goofing off, and it was like fun until literally the very end. You know, and so I just thought it was like such a high for me. So I feel like we definitely have to do this again to just recreate it
For sure.
anywhere else.
Yes.
And then my low, honestly, the mosquitoes. Because when I tell you, I still have bites just.
She got hit
I
hard.
think I got like a sympathy bite on my hand.
Oh my God, that was huge.
What even is that? It's a sympathy, unbelievable mosquito bite while sitting here.
That looks bigger than a mosquito bite.
That may have come from
friend.
Oscar.
We
Just
should
saying.
check that out. That looks rough.
Enjoy your rum punch, sister.
And
It'll go away. Yeah. Oh my gosh. I agree with everything that everybody said. It was perfect from start to finish. I would say for me, my high was, wow, this is hard. There are a couple. Seeing the joy in everybody, seeing the experiences in everybody, and everybody's was different, unique, and yet shared at the same time. It's like I said in the video, seeing the firsts just warmed me in a way that I almost can't even explain or describe. You know, things for you that you were doing and tried, and all of you. I guess, that's the mom in me kicking in, or the sister in me kicking in, just seeing joy in others and having that shared. But I will also say, I will add this. I knew that we would be vlogging this trip and we would be bringing it to my YouTube audience. That always means work for me. That means that I am no longer just a participant in the vacation, but I am now back to Dominique, who is working and providing content.
Yes.
So we made the very, very wise decision of having somebody else come and shoot the video.
That was brilliant.
Which was brilliant. And he did a beautiful job. And the videography was exceptional and extraordinary. And it allowed me to be in vacation mode with you all and not to be thinking about camera angles and shots and sound and do we have this and do we need that? And it completely allowed me to decompress and be a part of the family, so to speak, instead of working it.
Yeah.
And I'm so used to working it all the time.
And also, Courtney was able to
just
have a
gonna
life
say,
as
not
well.
to be like,
Yes,
me
and
too,
the
but
same
me
for
too.
her, and the
Guys,
same for
I
her.
would have not had the same experience if
No.
that was not the case.
And it would have been, I mean, we even talked about it and we kind of kicked it around. And I'm like, Court, if you're shooting, then it's me, Holley, and Ralphie. And everybody's like, well, okay, we're meeting Ralphie, but where's Courtney? And it just would not have had the balance and the flow that this video had without having someone there to actually shoot it. So I am so very, very grateful for that because it changed everything.
It did. That was.
It changed everything.
It made it.
It made it. Yeah.
So.
And then the low, I'm not an early morning person
You're not.
at all. So I would have to say
The first morning.
5:30 wake up call right after we had arrived.
Oh,
It
yeah.
was day 2, literally getting out of bed at
That was
5:30
rough.
and getting out the door at 6 to get back on the little plane, to get back to the mainland, to do the whole...
To start it over.
To start it over, basically, and do the ruins and the cave tubing, which turned out to be the most extraordinary experience. Hands down.
Seriously.
They were all great. But yeah, man, I'm like, there is just no hiding these circles this morning. It is what it is, and you know, just blow and go. And so we did. So I think those were my highs and just a very minor little low. All things
You're
considered.
just not a morning person. And
No.
but it's funny. Recently you've been becoming a little bit more of a morning person.
I
You're
have.
like, Holly, it's 7:30 and I'm
up.
awake.
Yeah.
Because I'll when
You
I
text
walk
me
when I
early.
walk Eli, I always look to see, because my building's over there and
Yeah.
you're right here. And I always look to see if like your lights are on. I'm like, oh, and then honey,
Look at
I'm
her,
like,
the blinds
are
are
her
up.
lights on?
Welcome to the world, Dee.
Cute, creepy.
I mean,
Oh my gosh, by the way, our videographer came up with a great idea for you. After the whole what's in my bag segment, he goes, this would be funny. Have Ralphie as like a TSA agent.
I cannot imagine.
Everybody's bag.
Oh my god, I cannot
And everybody's
even imagine.
suitcases unzipped.
I
And
love
there's
the
Ralphie
costume.
wearing hats and glasses. Oh, what's this? What's this?
Oh my gosh. Y'all remember my suitcase coming back and like I ran out of time and like my hair dryer was in my carry-on. You're like,
Dyson.
I too can go in the carry-on the Dyson hair dryer like doo-doo-doo.
Right in the TSA nightmare, your bags were wild during this trip.
Were. And then what bottles? Vodka bottles at what happened with those?
That's a
back
sharing
it up.
moment.
What vodka bottles?
Listen to this.
bottle.
The
Oh, the
duty
tequila
free.
bottle,
Oh,
yeah.
it's tequila.
So we
On the way
get
there.
to Belize, we go through the first part of security and what's that international thing you have to go through?
Security.
Customs, thank you. So we go through the customs where you enter their country,
Yeah.
and then you have to go through customs of if you bought anything within their airport.
Yeah.
So these two
Holly and I have 10 minutes to buy something in there.
We had to buy something.
buy a bottle of tequila, and then So Sweet bought me a bottle of NA champagne. So they give me the bottles. and I
You
put
had
them
the room in your bag,
Yeah.
to be fair.
To be fair, they give me the sober one, these bottles. So I put it
So
in,
sorry.
and I'm not thinking a thing. So then we go through to our next flight, which is the little puddle hopper, if you will. And they have their own customs line. And we're going, this thing's barely holding on for dear life. I don't know what it's scanning, but it is not scanning a true suitcase. And it's going through, and they stop it. And they're like, whose bag is this? I said, oh, mine. And then I have this woman here, this man over my shoulder.
I remember.
They're like, oh, it's duty free. I'm like, what is? They're like, this. I'm like, my bag?
what does this mean?
He kept looking all about, how do I do? What do I do? What do I
This
say?
guy
What do I do?
comes above me, and he's like, oh, just go back. I'm like, what is going on? What do I do? I'm like, I'm not moving. I'm not saying anything. And then I look at her, who's staring at me. She goes, what's going on?
So
What
good.
happened? I said, there's a bottle. There's a bottle. It's not mine. It's not mine.
Like it was a
Panicked.
weapon. Like,
Panicked.
not mine.
You had to run out, didn't you?
She did.
Yeah.
She did.
I
Isaac
went and
went to
took
the
care
team.
of it. I mean,
Yes.
the mom had to.
Yeah.
Well, she had a duffel bag with her anyways that had everything else minus...
Might as well throw that in there.
How many of y'all want to travel with me forever because of the bag I carry? Oh yeah, I got that.
Oh my gosh,
Hold on, I got that. Hold on, I got that too.
You know, Mary Poppins.
But
Yes.
you know where this all started because remember the very first line of the mimosa line in the tire?
Tire.
Tire?
the wheel on the airplane.
The wheel on the first plane.
Oh, way back from
Yeah, I'm like, wait, we're jumping. We're jumping.
Well, the reason I'm saying this is because we started with mimosas.
Oh, yeah.
Because we had to leave the plane,
to
and I had the glass, and I
Our
said...
flight was delayed because of a, quote, tire issue. They had to replace the tire.
After Dom and I were already on the plane.
on the
These two
plane. We were
like,
not on the plane yet.
Yeah.
But it was great. So they had us get off the plane. So I bought mimosas, and you're like, you have the glass. I'm like, I will get back the glass when they give me my tire.
So true. God, why does that feel so long ago?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
They're like, that's where it all.
That's where it
started.
started.
Hold on. Cheers to that.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Yes.
honey.
That's where it all began.
Tires
And duty free.
And duty free. Well, we all made it with amazing stories to tell. I've never, ever had a better friend trip in my life. In my life. I don't know.
Wait, did you correct me if I'm wrong. I thought you said you've never done a friend trip.
No, I mean, aside from like camp stuff or organized things or the Miraval trip that we did, which was a group, but there I was working again. This was the first time that I went with friends.
It's a first for you. First for you. I'm so happy.
It was so good. It was so great.
And girlfriend trips are not overrated. I think so many people maybe can't afford them, but you don't have to travel far.
don't have to go far.
It's really important to be with like-minded women and just to nourish yourself, your soul, and be with other women is so important. I mean, and then there's always
Lady man. Don't cancel me. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
I'm saying. We've been through our own with it.
I know.
The world is different out there.
Or my husband, as TSA wanted to call him.
That's true. I know. You guys do make a very good-looking couple, I have to admit.
I'm a beautiful man.
You are a beautiful man.
And that's not me proclaiming it. And I literally been told.
A little boy came up to me in Belize and said he was a beautiful lady.
So it's like, all right, Belize.
Okay, thank you. I'll take
Beautiful
it.
lady.
Yes. My beautiful
He's
lady
a
husband.
Beautiful
Man.
husband.
That's right. Indeed, beautiful. And I'm glad you mentioned that about like-minded people getting together because this also kind of facilitated an opportunity for us a year from now. We reached out on my social media platforms to do a group trip with women, and all of that has come to fruition. So that is so exciting. And I think it's neat for women to see kind of what we did, right? You know, we traveled as a group, we saw things together, we experienced things together. And now, a year from now, October of 2024, we have a trip to Greece planned. Miss Courtney.
Opa.
Yes, Opa, Yasu, Tikanis. I'm practicing my Greek. But what an amazing opportunity for 25 women to come together in midlife to see Athens, to see Peloponnesus, and really enjoy, I would say, each other as much as the scenery. Wouldn't you?
Absolutely, because if you can create even a similar vibe to Miraval, I mean, that was very different because it's a wellness retreat. But I think the bottom line is you and I have both learned within the last year of the tone you set. We weren't even trying to set a tone, but the way the trip has started is the way it will grow and continue. And you already know how to do that by being your unique self. Everybody says, is she really like, and this is not a plug because I don't think I've told you this, but I have so many people say to me, is she really like, what she is? And I said, even better.
Now you can make me cry. Okay, everybody's crying at this table.
Like even better. And because of your presence and the way you carry yourself, it's kind of crazy, actually, the way you carry yourself and the way you've lived your life so publicly. And you're so genuinely, even down to the way you hold my hand when I'm having a hard day. And you will set the tone. And that's what's going to be so great about Greece, because not only is it beautiful, but it will be beautiful because you're happy and you create that around you.
Thank you. That's the sweetest. Mwah, I love you. I love you all. I'm so grateful and thankful as we kind of wrap all of this up. I'm so thankful for all of you and the role that you serve in my life. And I know everybody can say that about everybody at this table. And I just, if we can encourage anybody watching or listening, is that you can be in your late 20s, you can be in your mid 50s, you can be like my mother in your 80s and meet your new best friend 6 months before you die. You can. anything is possible if you put yourself out there. And that's the moral of the story. Put yourself out there, because why miss out on all the blessing that you can reap, right? And be a blessing to somebody else.
Exactly.
Yes.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that.
And cheers to the
Cheers,
next trip.
fam.
To the next trip.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Friendsgiving, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.